dirty, wretched, and unbefitting. These are some of the adjectives many have employed to describe the state of roads within Mbora Estate in Life Camp, a popular residential area in the FCT. The access road was constructed about 15 years ago by a private developer, FCT Properties Limited. Many find it odd that more than a decade later, no major maintenance work has been effected to keep the roads in good condition. For years, residents of Mbora Estate in Life Camp have been groaning about the poor shape of the roads leading to their homes when going out in the morning for their daily businesses or returning in the evening. The residents spend a disproportionate amount of time navigating through the many bad portions of the road, hoping to avoid any severe damage to their cars. This road, just like many other roads across the country, should have gotten the attention of authorities to make it motorable and ease the daily stress residents endure. Sadly, those who ought to do the needful seem not to care. The residents and their visitors are therefore left to bear the brunt of this neglect. Vehicular damage, the stress of driving in and out, and the difficulty in getting help in moments of emergencies are some of the hardship people who live in this estate have to go through on the regular. The president, FCT Estate Mbora District, Dr. Aminu Atabo, considers the 1.5 kilometer road a nightmare for users, especially during the rainy season. He complains about the difficulties residents have to endure in getting home whenever it rains and how efforts at getting the authorities to do the needful over the years have yielded very little, even as the FCT Minister lives not very far from the community.
Immediately we came into the office, we started without delay by writing letters to the appropriate authorities. We wrote letters to the Honorable Minister of FCT, under which jurisdiction this road is. We also follow up and wrote to the Honorable Minister of State so that at least they can put their heads together and do this road. We did not stop at that. We also wrote to FEMA, Federal Road Maintenance Agency, if there is any way they will come to our aid.
One of the most important ways of developing a nation is through substantial investment in road infrastructure because of its evident impact on attracting new businesses, enhancing real estate value, and opening up new territories. Why has the contract for the road construction been awarded and re-awarded for years with nothing substantial to show for it?
No, some roads they've given it out as a contract, but the people they give it to, they use it to begin the business. They will not do it, the work finish. When another contractor comes, they will begin it out again, which is not good. What we are facing in this country is very terrible. Anybody that gives this contract to, even though they wanted to chop the money, they should do the one they're supposed to do. Because we are suffering. We can't be working like this. In some other country, we cannot be seeing road like this. It's not good. If you wash a car now, look at my car standing here. If you wash a car now, if you just come out like this, in the next 5 minutes, if you come back, your car will be staining. And it's not good. I beg, help us beg them. The people that are on this contract, let them come and help us. We poor people, because we are suffering.
Of a truth, more funds and effective monitoring by the authorities would be deployed for this road to be properly fixed. However, the pointers on ground leave little room for cheer. It is more likely that the next rainy season will still present another nightmare for the residents of these estates, leaving them at the mercy of severe flooding as the drainage channels remain in poor shapes or entirely dilapidated. Many said they have suffered losses over the years as a result of seasonal flood, and no assistance has been directed to them from the emergency management agencies. Now, what has stalled the construction and rehabilitation of this road for years? The condition given by the FCT administration is that if the road will be constructed according to the Abuja Master Plan, most of the houses marked for demolition by the Development Control Department of the agency will be brought down. This issue is said to have led to a feud between the developers and the FCDA. The matter is currently in court for adjudication.
You say they can carry one of them, one of our rep or our senator, even president himself, pass this road. Maybe we see as we are suffer about this road. When rainy season come, just try come about that August or July. You will see what I'm talking about. Even your car say we know pass. You see as it be, at least this dry season now. You are still seeing as it be. So maybe they just try for us to get some things about this road. They come this last week, we like say they hear that government pays some money for them. They just carry kata cup, ground some place there, graze some here, and wet and water. After we no see them again. There are some of them engines have here. Since how many years they not carry it. They don't even touch it. They put security there to look about it.
The Mbora FCT road, like several roads in Nigeria, is a true reflection of the state of the Nigeria road infrastructure. Corruption, perhaps responsible for every system failure in the country, has again been pointed as largely responsible for the nightmare. Residents who spoke on and off camera explained to our crew that on an annual basis, contracts to fix the road or portions of it are awarded, but at the end of the day, the story remains unchanged.
At the point we even visited the Minister of State, that look, this road is going to be cut off during the next rainy season. They should come and do something. They didn't. So, and we have to now resort to self-help, and that is what we are doing. We were able to get the FCT to give us approval to construct, raising our own money to do it. So right now, as I speak to you, the contractor we engage are already on site doing the work on corporate social responsibility.
About 64 million naira is needed for the road to be completed, but the 2,000 residents of FCT have only been able to raise about 10% of the money, barely enough for Amco Nigeria Limited to move their equipment and men to site. It would not have been bad if the FCT Minister makes the road that leads to his home a pet project. But sadly, 5 years on as a minister, he appears not very interested in bringing succor to the long-suffering residents of Mbora Estate.
Basically, what we have here is more of an infrastructural challenge. It has to do with the road, the drainage, the water, and of course, the biggest of them all is the exit drain. For example, my project is supposed to have started sometime in February, but we've tried to make personal contact with the company that's in charge of the drainage, but all efforts have proved abortive. So we've had to, improvise some other alternative means. So I think given the developmental potential of this location, the infrastructure is at the heart of it, and continuous negligence in the part of the developers or the contractors or the government agency responsible, I'm not sure who is exactly responsible, I think is really hampering the potentials of this location. And we would like to see government pay special attention. I will appeal to the FCDA to pay special attention to whatever bottlenecks that are, hampering the potentials of this place. If you look around, the development is really springing up very fast.
The Nigerian factor here is that those at the top echelon of government award much of these road contracts to companies where they have vested interests. For example, as explained by an anonymous source to Roots TV Nigeria, the percentage of the contract sum to those who do the job could be 70 by 30%. Those in power take the larger chunk, leaving the companies to also cut corners and make their gain from the meager amount insufficient to execute the contract, and the circle goes on and on. This solid practice explains why most roads across the country, including this, has remained in terrible conditions.
We are talking about this road since how many years? When I reached Abuja like 2011, I met this road like this. And when government pays some money for them, they will just come bring some tractor, grade and wet, especially dry season, of course. But we are suffering for this thing. When you come rainy season, we no pass build save. Like this, my engineer now won't start in building. And they are complaining about the road. Say people are not staying around. And you see many houses, they build. Nobody will take, nobody can come rent around there. When you go front here, you see something like hope.
It is evident to all that all is not working in Nigeria as a result of bad governance and corruption, especially in the procurement process.
Now the canal has been there. We've tried to monitor the canal for about 2 years now. It was done at first, but I think the engineering behind it wasn't so sophisticated, so it collapsed. And they've been trying to do a second one, but that hasn't happened in about a year now, that we've been trying to follow up with them. But all effort to get them to rebuild the canal, because if you're here when it rains during the rainy season, you'll notice some level of flooding, and my client's site is usually almost overtaken by flood, so we had to start doing some shoring methods to try to protect the site. So the canal is very instrumental to the drainage of this location, and I think it's a good start point if they are serious with the infrastructural development of this location.
To say the least, the health and psychological trauma this road poses for the average road user leaves much to be desired.
The flood can take anybody out. So seriously, government has not been fair to the residents of FAB Estate. And you will always also bear me witness that 2,000 or more than 2,000 residents is a serious voting population. So the residents of FAB Estate have been voting consistently for those that are coming to power, either as the chairman of AMAC. They have always drawn a lot of votes from here.
Isn't it unfortunate that the presence of a senior government official in this area cannot change the situation of things for the better? Imagine what others who live far away from the center of power are passing through on a daily if life camp residents go through hell to get their businesses every day. Again, I ask, what hope is there for the common man in today's Nigeria?